There's no greater rivalry in football than the Carlton-Collingwood clash.
Whether they're first or last, it's always personal.
Welcome to Saturday afternoon football on 10. You won't want to miss a moment.
No matter where they are on the ladder.
It's a downfield three and it's on. Dynamic's down. Tomorrow's in it.
No matter what's at stake for others.
Every umpire around this skirmish, and the AFL will have a look at this one.
There is always something to play for when these two meet.
Josh Fraser is still down.
Old-fashioned, cross-town, deep-seated.
Scotland, no peripheral vision, bang!
They might respect one another, but they will never, ever like one another.
Now it's on, boys. Easy going.
Today is no different. While the Blues languish,
Holding the ball, runs into trouble, gone.
the Pies are desperate. Victory is imperative as September draws near.
To Thomas, he can have a shot from 45. Loads up from 60, going.
And despite talks of draft picks here and priority selections there, wouldn't Carlton love nothing more than throwing a spanner into Collingwood's works?
And the day begins with a farewell to a great Carlton champion, Anthony Koutoufides. Players, former coaches and Carlton fans alike paying homage as the Blues prepare for what is always a grudge match against Collingwood. It was a very emotional occasion. Michael Voss, as Koutoufides did a lap of honour just a few minutes ago. It's got to give Carlton some sort of lift.
Oh, it has to. He's been such a champion and these fans absolutely adore him and love him. And so do the players he plays with, and they honour him before the game. And there's a young group out there now. This is now the future of Carlton, and we're seeing that here today.
It is 6th versus 17th, 6th versus 14th on the table. It sounds like a mismatch, but as we said in the opener, that never seems to count when these two teams play because it's always like a final.
Yeah, there's some good rivals, and Carlton-Collingwood, doesn't matter where they are on the ladder, they'll still give a great contest, and you wouldn't expect this to be any different.
The Blues improved last week against St Kilda. Do you think they can carry that on?
Yeah, look, Brett Ratton put his own stamp on this team, and there's Collingwood's alternate jersey.
Yes, the alternate strip is the one on the right. Alan Didak wearing the one that they wore last week. Spot the difference.
Well, I think one's wearing black shorts and one's wearing white shorts. That's the only difference I can tell.
Collingwood with changes in their lineup. We'll hear about those shortly. Poor performance last week. Do you reckon it was one-off, or might a young team still developing its maturity be starting to struggle late in a season?
Well, they would certainly hope that it's only just a one-off because their opportunity is to be able to finish in the top four. So this is a critical game for them to be able to find their feet again.
Let's hear about the changes. Let's hear about a couple of debutants, one on either team, from Michael Christian and Luke Darcy.
Thanks very much, Tim. Good afternoon, everyone. And Luke, firstly, congratulations on a wonderful career. And with the draw last night, it's a pretty big week for you.
It has been a long week, Chris. I'll be looking forward to Sunday night, to be honest, and getting some sleep. But, yeah, it has been a big week.
Let's get into the teams, and 3 changes for the Collingwood side this afternoon. Out O'Brien, Richards and Wakeland, and into the side come the 3 emergencies, Medhurst, Reece Shaw and Shannon Cox.
Yeah, 3 late changes, but James Clement's the player that I really wanted to highlight. Only his 6th game for the season, and I really think he's the most important player in Collingwood's team, and all Collingwood fans will be rapt to see him back leading into the finals. Always talk about Anthony Rocca because he's just so important. I think he would have woken up this morning, Chris, and thought, today's my day. They haven't got a great matchup for me. Give me a chance one-on-one.
Yes, it's a pretty thin defence, certainly in terms of height, but a couple of interesting midfielders you've highlighted.
Yeah, Andrew Kratzo's just had an unbelievable season. 38 disposals, career high last week. averages 25, and he's been a real spirit indicator for the side. And Bryce Gibbs, he's played every game, the #1 draft pick. That's the future of Carlton. Can't wait to see him have a game on a big stage today.
And I wonder whether this man's the future for Collingwood. His debut this afternoon, Ryan Cook, taken 23 in 2005 by the Magpies.
Yeah, the reports are that he's an athletic, quick, skillful type of player. So the 9th debutant for the season for Collingwood. It's a big result for
And
him.
making his debut for the Blues, Michael Jamieson from North Ballarat, the 21-year-old.
Yeah, 193 centimetres, so maybe potential key position player, which they desperately need.
Back to you, Tim.
Thank you, Chris Owen. Anthony Koutafiti said during the week that he was reminded as a youngster that the pages of youth turn very quickly, and he'll be only too aware of that today, as having announced his retirement during the week, he parades before a growing crowd at the MCG. An enigma at times, but at times an unbeatable player, Michael Voss. Did you tangle with him?
Oh, I did, and there's been no single dominant player at his best than Anthony Koutafiti. He has been sensational and an ornament to this game.
Carlton fans very sad about this. No one sadder than Kouta's daughter, who's shedding a tear out there. We'll be back with the first bounce after the break. This is always the case. Another massive crowd rolling into the MCG for Saturday afternoon footy. As Tim said, whenever these two sides play, the numbers and the masses turn out. There is always so much at stake when Carlton take on Collingwood. Another massive crowd gathering here at the MCG under leaden skies. There's been all sorts of rain and wind and hail predicted over the last couple of days. It doesn't look too bad at the moment. Late showers are forecast. Expected 14, currently 13. It feels a whole lot chillier down here. There is a really brisk wind blowing across the MCG. Who's going to be the coach of the Carlton Football Club in 2008? Brett Ratton, almost an unbackable favourite. They were putting those sorts of odds up about Michael Voss last week, thanks to sportsbet.com.au. Have a look down the bottom now, $101. Knowing that, I reckon a few boys upstairs might be prepared to put their hands in their pockets and make a little wager and try and convince Vossi to come on back. I wonder whether Chriso and the lads, Darcy, you good enough to convince him to come back if you can put some of your own hard-earned on him?
Well, if he's going to give us a heads up at $101, it's what do you think, Vossi? Can you reverse that, or maybe it's just a ploy you've had all the way along?
At 101, I'm not telling anybody. I'll put that on myself.
Well, there's the current coach, Brett Ratton. Of course, a very strong, gallant, bold performance by his team last week, going down by 10 points to the Saints, and I'll be looking, of course, to go one better this afternoon.
He was looking very cultured with those little opera glasses. All this could have been yours, Vossi.
Well, they did play a different brand, Carlton, last week. They got back in numbers. They chose to share the ball around. They had I think about 390 disposals last week, which is well up what they've averaged this year. So prepared to share it around.
The umpires are Hayden Kennedy, Matt Stevich and Michael Avon. It is Carlton and Collingwood for the 235th time, and the veteran Hayden Kennedy sets them in motion. Fraser and Ackland, and Fraser wins, but Burns can't escape. And it is holding the ball. Gee, that's a tough call.
Might have set a precedent for the game, that if they play one of those early, you hope they remain consistent.
So Thornton has the first kick of the day and probes to the 50. O'Halpin started as a fixed forward. Attacked the ball, couldn't quite take it with him.
Held into him.
And this time there's a different interpretation.
Interesting move, Vossi, starting O'Halpin forward, and also Jason Saddington's got the massive job on Anthony Rocco.
So a bouncing half forward for the Blues. Goldsack trying to get it clear, couldn't. Fraser does well at ground level. Handball back to Clement. Great to see James Clement back for the Magpies. Good handball. Cox, Fraser, then Clement keeps running. Collingwood fans will delight in that as he kicks towards half-forward. Medhurst almost couldn't quite gather. Carlton there in number.
Control the ball, Brett Thornton.
And the free kick to Thornton at half-back for Carlton.
The Blues were pretty good last week. They were coming at St Kilda late in the piece. Here's Carazzo as they manoeuvre it around their back half. Saddington given the big job on Collingwood's biggest and most dangerous forward rocker. Gives to Ackland. And Ackland just pokes it to Scotland, the former Magpie, having a good season for Carlton, among the top half-dozen kick earners in the competition. And Carlton just fiddling. Held it up last week. Held the ball longer than they have in any other game this year. A different strategy, and we can see it being put into effect here already. Houlihan giving to Waite, but a fumble, so a throw in between the wing and the Blues half-forward line over on the southern side of the MCG. Collingwood have won their last 3 against Carlton. Would you believe they've not won 4 in a row against the Blues since the first half of the 1950s?
Loney got it to Burns. Now short, off to Ben Johnson. And the short kick is effective. Tarkin Lockyer, who's had a wonderful season. Number 2 in the competition in kicks as he drives towards half-forward. Out comes Rocker, can't take it. Didak off hands, open goal square, and Collingwood on the board at the MCG.
As Andrew Marr said, it's grey overhead and the lights are on at the MCG. And Collingwood have the first goal. Perfect bounce. Ackland standing his ground, and Carlton get another free kick. So the Blues getting the rub of the green in the early part. Kane Ackland, shocking kick, but it'll work out all right for the Blues because Houlihan just happened to be running along the wing. And he's on the end of a good shepherd from Simpson. He goes for Favola, but he's too strong with the kick. Gibbs for Carlton now. Searching for Russell. Good pressure, though, by Cox. And Carlton not really able to go anywhere at the moment. Collingwood keeping them under the pump as Coach Mick Malthouse looks for a much improved performance on last Saturday night's shellacking at the hands of Brisbane.
Fraser and Ackland, third man up, Goldsack, Burns, tough. Big pack congest, and the umpire eventually calls for it. Scott Burns has had a great year. Number 4 in the competition in terms of centre clearances.
Chris, I just get the feeling that Carlton's style today is going to be to deny Collingwood the ball. They're going to try and hit the short target at every opportunity, which requires a high level of skill. Free kick there to Kane Ackland and push in the back, but it's going to be interesting to watch. I think they're going to try and hold on to the footy and see if they can test Collingwood's ability to put pressure on them.
Blackwell kicks it inside, attacking 50, and Simpson can kick a goal from 20 metres, and he does. Carlton level it up.
And Simpson has played last week in the midfield, and he's gone into midfield again today. I think it's a great move to be able to add that extra run. He's a good player.
Carazzo winning so much ball this year, did it well there. Gibbs pushing and shoving. Goldsack off to O'Brien, and Collingwood are out of trouble. Thomas with Houlihan as his opponent. Might have just set that up for himself. He did it well. He's a creative player, but he's gone for holding the ball here.
Let him go.
Well, he tried to make something of it. He got the little hand pass out initially, but when the tackle was laid, he just was not able to dispose of the ball. And it's Murphy's footy. It's not Murphy's footy. In fact, it's Waite who will take the free kick. Murphy given the job on Lockyer today, having done so well on Lee Montagna last week against St Kilda. Now it's Scotland.
Here they go up in that setup again.
You can just see they're going to be patient with the footy, and they're going to try and hold on to it here. This one will go across out on the wing and hit Jordan Bannister, and he's going to try and make sure he hits up a short target. He's got Ackland out if he wants to use him now.
Been given a big job on Cloak, a bigger man, but Bannister might try and run him off his legs. He does well here, finding O'Halpin, who goes for Favola, 2 against him. Had to go the spoil on Fraser. Fights on, does the Fev, gives Russell a chance, and Blackwell tries a little bendy ball. It hit the post.
So almost from Luke Blackwell. Cox to Clement. And an effective kick, as it so often is. The Magpies now through Ryan Cook in his first game, kick from half back to half forward. And another mark taken by Tarkin. Lockyer, good run by Ryan Loney. Kick wasn't great. Medhurst assistance, good handball. Ben Johnson threads it through to Loney on the non-dominant side, goes for Cloak. He takes it on the bounce, tries to pull it back across his body. It's bending back, but not far enough. In fact, not far enough to even register a behind. A free kick to Carlton in the back pocket.
Cloak having a tremendous season for Collingwood, has improved enormously. Waite. Bentic back in the Carlton side this week, getting himself into strife and gone. And Collingwood are away. Thomas gives to Rocker. Didn't quite come off. And Jamison, the first gamer for Carlton, got the ball out. There was a free kick there if they wanted. They choose not to take it. Houlihan, good pace and confidence. Bentic again. Now it's Bannister playing in that half-back role. Thornton and Simpson. Carlton leading by a point. Playing with some confidence here. Scotland standing his ground as Burns comes hard.
Scotland between half-back and wing, chips it to Bentic, who can now set up a forward attack. Favola on the lead over his head. We've seen that a couple of times already this afternoon. Clement gets rid of O'Halpin and goes back after his toe poke. Oh, gives it up though. Chance for Waite. Did well to keep the hands clear. Handball towards Favola. A little too fierce. Medhurst does the right thing. Just soccers off the ground. But it's all Carlton. And a chance here for Simpson. Just backward of the wing. Clever little kick around the body, gets to Scotland. Good tackle coming from Burns. Now a Collingwood chance. Loney, Lockyer, Ben Johnson. Rocker wants it deep. Good kick. Gives him every possible chance. Saddington did superbly to get a fist in there. They fight on. First to arrive to support is Jamison. And also Bannister getting back.
Well done, Saddington.
And Bannister clears and relieves the pressure to Saddington. That was a great spoil.
Significant win for the former Swan. And he's played it pretty well along that southern wing for Fisher, who took O'Brien under it. Had Medhurst doubling up on him. O'Halpin well tackled by Clement. But O'Halpin just got a share of the ball and denied O'Brien. But he's gone for holding it. Wasn't much more he could do. He did about as well as he possibly could under the circumstances, flying solo against the rest. Clement wastes no time. And Medhurst doing some work here up the ground. And he has Cox waiting for the hand pass. Selling the dummy. Jamison got hold of him though. Loney is a left footer. That's good to Davis. Difficult spot there. You never know what he'll do. He's done well, but Scotland saw it coming.
He did superbly off the Bentic. Great chase down though by Davis. Yeah, good mark taken by Fisher in front of O'Brien. Between wing and half back. Gee, it's an enterprising start by both clubs. Scotland been brilliant early. Takes it just the attacking side of the wing, delivers towards Favola. He got rid of Prestigiacomo. Getting back, Cook did very well. Did enough to send it over. And a boundary thrown in the forward pocket for the Blues.
I reckon Carlton would be absolutely delighted with their start. I mean, they've managed to hold on to possession. Their pressure skills have been right up. Just haven't quite executed that well. But this was a fantastic effort from Saddington to get back in a one-on-one and do the job.
Goldsack got it straight to Carazzo from 50. Brings it back to the goal square contest. Prestigiacomo did brilliantly. Knocks it through behind to the Blues.
Well, just at the moment, they're the more proactive side. They're getting out into space. Probably need to go a little bit harder forward when they get the ball rather than going sideways so much. But at the moment, they're really setting the standard on the pressure.
Carlton fans weren't happy with that outcome, and there was an arm wrapped around Fev's chest. That was undeniable. Simpson cleverly getting it down for the Blues to Carazzo and Gibbs, and there's a man loose at the 50. Russell it is, just hesitated for a moment, puts Blackwell under the pump. Scotland, neat sidestep, kick just wide. Fisher! Fisher's got it just inside. Now, what does he do? Bend it around, or does he run out and use the left? He does the latter, and he hits the woodwork. The entries to the 50. 6-5 Carlton's way.
James Clement at fullback. He's been busy, very busy in the early stages of this game. Halfback for the Magpies, delivers. A couple to choose from here. Marty Clark had to wait for it. Was taken high. And umpire called play on, but as you can hear, no advantage. So it'll come back to Clark on centre wing. It was the high tackle. Clark towards the lead of Cloak. Oh, good hands. Had to really stretch and did. 60 from goal at left half forward. Travis Cloak drives it long to the goal square. Thornton gets back and was pushed out by Didak. So a free kick to Brett Thornton at fullback for the Blues.
And a 50-metre penalty. So Carlton coming out of that exchange very well. There wasn't a lot in the free kick.
Get the feeling that might have been a bit of abuse from Alan Didak.
Looks that way. He just doesn't think there was much in the free kick either. Thought was a bit uncertain, didn't know whether to mark that ball or knock it through. So Carlton can be well pleased. Now Houlihan, their running half-back, and Sannington, who just for the moment finds himself with Cloak. And he gives to Russell, who's providing some life across half forward. Still just one goal apiece. Lively start by the Blues. They do look a rejuvenated team. Leon Davis did beautifully against Bentic. He is having a very good season, has wonderful skills, and that's a good placement for Lockyer. Now there's no one in the 50. Running down ground is the youngster, Heath Shaw, in fact, who pops it around the corner and kicks Collingwood second.
Indication of the dominance and the style of play perhaps by the Blues. 22 marks to 7 early stages at this game at the MCG. The old rivals Carlton and Collingwood. The Magpies have their noses in front. They lead by 3 points. Fraser down towards Swan. Well done. Good desperate stuff from Bentic. O'Halpin almost gave it out. Jackson off to Murphy. Clever. Almost floats it towards half forward. Favola. Oh, he's pinged by Prestigiacomo. Play on's the call. Perhaps a little lucky. And a bounce.
Pretty clever from Feven there, wasn't he? He was about to give away a free kick and managed to make an attempt. Watch this. He's got the ball in one hand now.
How's that not a free kick to start off with?
Yes, I agree.
But have a look at this. That's just clever to be able to get a boot to the ball. Otherwise would have been holding the ball.
O'Halpin takes it out. He got boot to ball, so it's okay. Chance for Wade. He's dispossessed. Was he held too long? No. Now Davis, who's been good early, kicks towards Lockyer and he finds him. Tarkin Lockyer intent on playing on. Good pressure coming from Murphy. Didak and Thornton. Well done, Didak. Thornton lost his feet. Bannister going in hard. Desperate stuff from Bannister. Cloak, though, just drags the ball from his grasp. Kicks back towards Davis. Bauer, though, in the way. Off to Bentic, and the Blues now going forward.
And it's a good kick, too. And it finds Russell. Now it's 2-on-2 in the 50. He's going for Favola, but he has not placed that well. An unavailing attempt to keep it alive. So
free kick. Pushed him into the fence against Nick Maxwell.
I think Waite might have started it. Maxwell might have responded. Waite, what's he done? That is unbelievable. What on earth was he thinking of? Was he trying to do that?
Well, I reckon that's got to be just about goal of the year for Mike, because you've just got to pay to even think about doing it, and then to pull it off. That is just as good as it gets.
Oh, we've got to be able to see it here. Here it is here. He just sees the opening. Maxwell stands inside, so he can't play on. So he thought, well, I'll just go straight through the mark.
That's the sort of thing as a kid you practice all the time down the hallway at home, trying to bend one into the front bedroom.
With your sock.
And they don't often go through. That's just a fantastic goal.
Oh, well done.
Freaky stuff from Waite. And he's put the Blues back in front. 2-3 plays, 2 goals. Carlton with more of the early opportunities. Betts almost takes it out. Reece Shaw, a late inclusion into this Collingwood side this afternoon. Nick Maxwell in there as well, but
just
a bounce.
wondering if the umpire was laying a shepherd on Maxwell here as he was giving his instructions, and Waite used that to actually thread the needle.
Fraser, great tap to Swan. His kick run down though. Reece Shaw. Ryan Cook, first game for Ryan Cook. Probing kick out wide. Medhurst almost. couldn't quite gather, and good pressure coming from Jamison, the first gamer. The other first gamer, of course, for the Blues, the 21-year-old from North Ballarat. And we'll get a boundary thrown at half forward for Collingwood.
And that says a bit of a story there. The Clangers 14-4. Carlton making the most of that.
Reece Shaw. Handball back to his brother Heath. Now Cloak's got to beat a couple here, Travis Cloak. Good fist coming from Bauer. Thomas at ground level. Fell over at the inopportune time, but was pushed in the back. Touch lucky. He was already there. In some respects, it was a silly free kick given away, but perhaps a little lucky, Dale Thomas.
Well, he sort of falls on top of him. Yeah. He got him high.
It's a free kick.
It was a free kick.
So a chance here for Dale Thomas to grab the lead back for the Magpies. His set shot kicking hasn't been great in season 2007. He's kicked 6 goals, 8 from set shots. Directly in front, 45 metres. Looks pretty good. He's squeezed it through. Collingwood back in front at the G.
So the Magpies lead again. Exciting opening quarter at the MCG. Carlton first use. Jackson just forced wide. Blackwell, good hard work. Carazzo. Now Grigg giving it to Bauer. Youthful Carlton team this. Bauer, after a defensive error a moment ago, goes for Favola and Fisher. Russell had it for a moment, giving Favola another shot, but Preston Giacomo's had a good quarter. Now this is Cook. And it's Ben Johnson breaking away, and he likes this situation. The 50's wide open. He's put it out in front of nobody much, but the bounce was good for Didak. Carlton defence closed. Cloak, Lockyer calling for it. Cloak didn't need him. Collingwood's fourth.
Travis Cloak kicks his first of the afternoon. Big job for Jordan Bannister. So the Magpies, a little break now, out by 9 points. Fraser up against O'Halpin again. Now which way will this go? Advantage. Eddie Betts runs from the centre square, kicks towards half forward. Wasn't a great kick. And the mark's taken by Cox. Now he played on it. I don't know that he realised it was a mark. Chance for Fisher. Off to Jackson. He scrambles it towards a vacant goal square. Cox getting back. Oh, little fumble. He's in trouble here. Shannon Cox dragged down. What will the umpire do? He says, give it to me. Will bounce 20 metres from Carlton's goal.
Carlton's forward pressure's actually been pretty good. Their tackle pressure's okay, but on the rebound, this is a great effort from Eddie Betts. He won the centre clearance and pushed hard, but on the rebound, when Collingwood are exiting their back 50, they're really dangerous.
Big Satanta. Oh, the hurler kicks a wonderful goal for the Blues.
Worth having another look at this, isn't it? Big Satanta. That's just great initiative to have a crack at taking one out of the air. That's a reverse torque, Bossy. You can try that 100 times and never do that, but fantastic. I love watching him play, Big Satanta. He brings passion and energy every time he's out there.
So the Blues back in touch. Margin 3 points. It is a willing affair, this. Ackland with not too much opposition. Betts was good in the midfield contest last week. Gives to Simpson and goes to Jackson. Needed to be brave. That's a Carlton free kick. Free kicks are 11-4 the Blues way. Lots given, and most of them to Carlton. Lobbing it high, difficult for the forwards. But Fisher able to tie things up for Carlton and force the ball up.
They've also won the 7 clearances, so they're dominating out of the middle of the ground.
And Anthony Rocker in the ruck for the Magpies. He absolutely crashed that pack. Brendan Favola got up and looked around and thought, what was that? Shannon Cox, third man up, wins it wide of the pack. Burns. And Jackson, what a game Jackson played last week for the Blues, and was pushed in the back, and we'll get another free kick here.
Look, Carlton have dominated possession. That stat came up earlier. But eventually you have to be able to convert that on the scoreboard. There's no point dominating possession if you can't kick goals.
Kick inside to Scotland. Wants to get on with it quickly. Chips it towards Fisher, who's free, and he couldn't quite hold on. Preston Giacomo kicks it very high. Scotland almost, does well to gather it at ground level. Beautifully done. Jackson, Bauer, kick inside, attacking 50. It's Clement going back. Couldn't quite control it, but he's first to recover. will scrag, no free kick, and then a little fumble, and we'll get a boundary throw in at half-forward for Carlton, who have done all the attacking.
Just a bit rusty, James Clement. He's missed so much footy, and you'd never see him fumble normally, but just a couple of times today.
Just no method up there for the Blues. Betts working hard. Russell again. Buried. And there'll be a ball up. 16 free kicks given in the opening term. Brett Ratton would have to like what he's seen over nearly 5 quarters sitting in the coach's box as the main man. Cox climbing third man in there for Collingwood. Bad bounce for Ben Johnson. Reece Shaw helps him out. One of 3 late inclusions it was, and the disposal wasn't legal. I don't know whether Carlton have benefited there, and it will come back. That's a good call. So Carlton's footy, but they're kicking a bit out, and their capacity to actually construct goals has been the weakest part of their game in this opening quarter. Jamison, the first gamer. Kick, sloppy. Magpie defence have it covered. Cox, another one of the late inclusions. Bannister had to sit there on Cloak. The Collingwood attackers and the Carlton defenders are up the ground. Leon Davis among them. Forced to double back here. And kicks poorly. Gibbs for Carlton. Could hurt here. Ackland camped under it. Needed to do better. Still Carlton with numbers, and a good Shepherd laid. Russell once more for Carlton to Fisher, who hit the post from a tighter angle and has a chance to kick a goal here.
Well, inside 50s are 15-9 on the game, which means, as we've been saying all along, they've actually dominated possession, dominated inside 50s. You can see Mick's not altogether impressed with that. The problem has been on the rebound. When the ball gets turned over, Collingwood look like scoring.
Fisher to put Carlton back in front. He does that. The Blues have been good.
So the Blues hit back. They've kicked the last couple of goals and lead by 3 points as we wind down to quarter time. Fraser back in the centre. Neither ruckman really having an impact. Clark's got all he threw that out.
There's another centre clearance.
And a free kick to be taken by Jackson. Carlton, the last 4 or 5 minutes have really looked impressive. Kick towards half forward. Fist from Cook is effective. Shaw loops it back to O'Brien. Advantage paid. Burns has got it at half back for the Magpies. Kick towards half forward. Oh, spectacular leap. Simpson couldn't take it. Lockyer's handball a little bit high for Fraser, but he did very well. Now Medhurst went to ground. He's in trouble, Paul Medhurst. Oh, the umpire said, give it to me. Went to ground, and I thought for a moment that Jamison had him in terms of earning the free kick, but will be about 60 metres from Collingwood's goal.
And you just look for little signs in players, and Jamison, he's already laid a couple of great tackles, hasn't he? So can obviously perform that task well.
Clark, a left footer, managing to sling the kick forward, and Collingwood attacking. Jared Waite tangling with Heath Shaw a moment ago in a nice little father-son contest. Carlton really having a much higher work rate in this opening term. Not really getting reward for effort. Ackland a clean knock, but it's still dangerous for the Blues. Bauer did okay. Betts to Carazzo. Carlton come away with the footy. Fisher coming up the ground with Goldsack, who beat him well this time, having just conceded a goal at the other end. Heath Shaw needing Thomas there, but Thomas just not really finding the drop. Bauer did. Gives to Carazzo, and now to Simpson, and Carlton playing composed football here. Simpson not with anything to go to initially, so he delays. Gives to Scotland, having a big first quarter. 10 disposals, 7 marks, Heath Scotland. Sarrington will get a free, and the free kick tally is extraordinary. It's 15-4. There have been some advantage calls too. Now Scotland again. Disposal 11.
Great.
And he's done it well. Mark not paid. And Collingwood surround the football. Heath Shaw to Loney. Lockyer. Good pressure coming from Murphy. And Bauer. And here's Murphy again with Lockyer. Carazzo for Carlton. Bauer. And Carlton winning the contested ball. Houlihan. Difficult one for Fisher. Did pretty well. Gibbs. Hard work here. Thomas puts the good tackle on Houlihan. Swan unsighted before that. Collingwood free kick, high tackle, Lockyer.
And we mentioned the clangers earlier, and there's Collingwood at 22 and Carlton 6. Really got to clean that. That's pressure also, Das. I mean, that's what Carlton are doing at the moment.
Well, there's another
one. So put another one down.
Straight to Bauer. And the Blues going pretty well at the moment. Blackwell kicks it into the centre. Wasn't a great kick. Rishaw affected to spoil. Carazzo, front and centre. Ackland. Now there's a free kick. No advantage. Blackwell's second chance. This time it's a good disposal. Sets Scotland away. Sweeps it wide. Jordan Russell, 50 from goal. Looking for Favola. He's got him. He's been working hard, Brendan Favola, but Prestigiacomo's done the job so far in the quarter. The disposal into Favola hasn't been great, but this time it was effective, and he'll kick from just 30 metres, although the angle reasonably acute.
Brett Rattner just have to be absolutely delighted with his side and their effort and their tackling and their pressure. They've just come here with great intensity. The thing is, can this young side sustain that for 4 quarters?
They lead by 3 points as we tick down to quarter time. Favola with a chance to extend it to 9. Drop punt, just tugs it left. So the margin now 4 points in favour of Carlton.
Well, as they've sort of shown Carlton already with Brett Rattner at the helm, they've had an intent to try and stay to his game plan, but you think that it's not quite embedded in them just yet. So 4 quarters will really test them to see whether they can stick at it.
Johnson to Burns. Well, that's the end of the quarter, and it was a most impressive start from the Blues, who are a revived team. They lead by 4 points. They dominated the game to an extent that it probably should have been significantly more.
Yeah, it did really feel as though Carlton had full control of the quarter. I mean, Collingwood kicked some easy goals when they went forward, but it's been an outstanding effort. They've turned up with great energy, great effort. Brett Rattner would be absolutely delighted with this first quarter. We've got a great game on our hands. Collingwood are exiting their back 50. They're really dangerous.
Big Satanta. Oh, the hurler kicks a wonderful goal for the Blues. The lead changed 5 times in the opening quarter. Literally a goal-for-goal struggle. Carlton in general play having much the better of it, but only able to translate it into a 4-point advantage at the first change. But if they can maintain what they've done, they're a real chance, and Mick Malthouse was showing that, I think, through his demeanour in the opening term. He was looking a little ragged around the edges, Vossi.
Well, he was, and there's probably a good reason for that. And right through the midfield, they were having some serious troubles. And we have a graphic up here, and look at that. That was just been an absolute domination by Carlton. Disposals, contested possessions, clearances, marks, short kicks even. You know, from that point of view, Carlton have really dominated. The good news for Collingwood the good news for Collingwood is, let's stay on track, stay on track. The good news is for Collingwood, they're only 4 points down.
Andrew Marr.
Yeah, the good news for both teams, Tim, is that there are no injuries in that group. It's a pretty tense and tight mob over at Collingwood at the moment. The same can't be said for Carlton. They are up and enthusiastic. All the young blokes, in particular, Mark Murphy at the quarter-time huddle, not afraid to bark instructions, directions, join in enthusiastically when talking to some of the senior members of this side. Not that there are many. This is one of the youngest Carlton sides and I can ever remember seeing out there, and they are all on the same page out there at the moment.
So Carlton lead by 4 points as Mick Malthouse continues to give the setup some thought before the second quarter gets underway.
The thing that's been fantastic about Collingwood all year, you've said they've managed to stay up and be competitive. They haven't been blown out of the water by any side, especially with the injuries they've had. They've had a lot of senior players out. Well, sometimes when you come up against the game that you should definitely win, it's hard to maintain that same focus, and there might be a bit of that. I'm sure Mick Malthouse at quarter time has said, hang on, boys, if you don't want to turn up and play in the right frame of mind, you'll get beaten by a side you shouldn't get beaten by, and that's what makes this game such a good contest now.
What is it about captains sitting in coaches' boxes eating lollies? I wonder if Bucks stole...
is that Bucks?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, no, there he is.
He must be eating Mick Malthouse's lollies. We saw Barry Hall do it a few weeks ago against Roosy's lolly stash.
Well, great start by the Blues. 4-4, 4 extra scoring shots. But unfortunately, for Blues fans, they lead by just 4 points. There's Brendan Favola. An intriguing battle with Simon Prestigiacomo. Anthony Rocker spent a few moments in that opening quarter in the ruck. but now stationed pretty much in the attacking goal square. So second quarter about to get underway here at the MCG. Carlton by 4 points. O'Halpin and Fraser. O'Halpin gets it down, taken by Swan. Couldn't get a clear disposal. Bentic couldn't either. Play on's the call. Carazzo just swooped in. No one wanted it. Blackwell. Good tackle from Swan, but he was able to get it to Thornton. He gives it up straight to Thomas. Thomas now kicks it wide. Rocker versus Saddington. Ball eludes both of them. Well read by Bannister. Got the big job on Clegg, but did it well there. Off to Thornton. Bentic, look out. Handball off to Blackwell. Sweeps it wide. Intelligent stuff. Off to Simpson and the Blues away. Driving kick towards half forward. Cook pushed Hassel out and free kick to Carlton. 60 from goal. Ryan Cook, 9th debutant for the Magpies this year. Taken 23 in the 2005 draft, where they've already got Pendlebury and Thomas. Little chip kick over the top to Simpson, who will be within goal scoring distance. Carlton fans, and Collingwood fans I should say, yelling and questioning the distance of the kick, but it's okay according to the umpire. And Simpson now will kick from 50. He's called to play on, so has to get on with it pretty quickly. Sets it up to the top of the goal square. Fisher in a good spot. So it's Favola off the hands. Betts couldn't quite get the run of it. And what's the umpire going to do? He waits. Eventually it spills out to Blackwell. Oh, well done. He shrugged a tackle. And he's just missed. Gee, he did all the hard work, Luke Blackwell. Couldn't finish it off.
I think he was surprised when he popped out the other side and there was no one around. Put a bit more pressure on himself than he needed to. Just couldn't get the connection he needed.
James Clement urgently calling for someone to give him a target. In the end, has to bomb it long. He's chosen well. Cook dropping the mark, but getting it back. Swan works it forward, and it's a free kick to Lockyer. Contact over the shoulder. Bronx from Collingwood fans. The number's currently 17-7 Carlton's way. Lockyer, short to Loney. Probably just outside his range. The man on the mark at 51 or 2. He has Rocker calling for it, pointing to a spot about 20 metres out. That's where he's gone. Rocker, though, will have 2 to beat. Oh, he's too good, too big, too strong. And gives it off, and Lockyer finishes the job. Collingwood back in front.
Well, big, strong, contested mark from Anthony Rocker. We expected this at the start of the game. How many full forwards would do that? 3 metres out from goal. I reckon Michael Voss might have gone back and kicked that one, but absolutely, it came off in the end.
So back in the centre, Magpies back in front. Great tap from Fraser to Swan. Jams it on the boot towards Davis. He's got it in the second attempt. 55 from goal. Kicks it wide. Travis Cloak the target. Rocker comes into it. Didak couldn't control it. Now Cloak finds Didak. Where will he go? He goes back to Burns. 60 from goal. Scott Burns. Handball to Swan. Swan runs inside, attacking 50. Kicks away, but he's offline. And through for a behind. Collingwood's first of the afternoon. They're the most inaccurate team in the competition. So a 5-1 scoreline is not too bad. There was the ruck work from Josh Fraser, Luke.
Yeah, he's lost his ruck partner from last week and Guy Richards, so big emphasis on him, and he should have an advantage in the centre square bounce today.
Bentic switches to the other back pocket. Carlton look to get it out. Collingwood just perhaps tightening up a little bit there. Now Bannister to Scotland, and it's a well-controlled kick with the left foot to Simpson. Collingwood with the only goal of the quarter so far. Magpies with their noses back in front. Russell had a lot of it across half forward in the opening term. He's had 10 disposals. Favola one out, and he wins this contest against Cook, as he was manned up by the first game and not Prestigiacomo, who's been his nemesis so far. And Favola with a big strength advantage, and despite some grappling, won the contest easily.
Well, if Tarkin Lockyer has been very, very good for Collingwood against Murphy, Scotland is just racking it up at the moment, being very important on the attack for Carlton.
Goalless so far, the Fev, coming in for number 50 of the season. And he makes no mistake, and the Blues are back in front.
So the Blues lead by 4 points. Entertaining game of football at the MCG. Fraser, another great tap, but this time it went straight to Carazzo, who hoisted high towards half-forward. Clement getting underneath it. The fist from O'Brien, though, was the one that destroyed the ball. O'Halpin's got it. Good tackle from Shaw. Reese. Now Betts. Oh, gave it to Carazzo. Stolen, though, by Swan. Wobbly old kick inside attacking 50. Looking for Thomas. Bounce eludes him. Lockyer now. And Thornton. Well done, Lockyer. Tries to shovel it out towards Cloak, but Thornton in the way. Now Bentic. Carazzo. Davis. He couldn't control it. Murphy was held. No free kick. Chance for Davis now. Runs onto the loose ball. The cute angle, but he brings it back and kicks a superb goal, Leon Davis. Oh, gee, he's capable of anything. And it was on his skills on full display there.
Well,
what a goal.
What was impressive was he just picked it up. Left foot, right foot, whatever you like. And just looked like he did it every single day. And on the left foot, just puts it through. It was just great control. He dropped the ball, just dropped it so well and got the bounce at the end. But what wonderful skills.
Hasn't his game tightened up? When he was in those situations not so long ago, you wondered how he might just manage to mess it up, whereas now you have the sense that he's going to finish. That's the 8th change in the lead, and we're early in the second quarter. Fraser to Burns. Collingwood attack again. Playing with a bit more resolve early here, and Didak came very hard, and he dished it out to Grigg. Lockyer works it forward. Thomas not quite able to take it. Houlihan, Saddington, Murphy. Carlton hold up. Wait at the end of it. Awkward for him. And Collingwood can come again. Cook did well. Loney. Now Swan, much better in this second quarter. Quiet first turn. That's not good, though. Saddington, Grigg, and Carlton can try and rebound quickly. This will be good. 2 speedsters, Reece Shaw and Betts, and it's the Collingwood man prevailing, and he goes wide for Cloak. Bannister has him covered.
Just saw the last centre bounce. Josh Fraser's really got on top. He was able to grab that one out of the air and get it on the boot himself. Ackland needs to really give a strong contest here.
So from the throw in, Ben Johnson. Travis Cloak fighting hard. Bannister shovels it clear towards Carazzo. Now Houlihan has to turn back. Hand off to Bentic, who chips towards halfback and coming up to meet it. Good mark taken by Russell. At halfback, he's got a couple of options inside. One of them Murphy. Off to Carazzo. He had a great year, averaging 25 disposals for the year, Andrew Carazzo. And eventually it comes out to Scotland. He got it from Murphy. Scotland, this is a promising attack towards Waite. Oh, Clement. He got a favourable bounce, but he read it superbly. Off to Loney. Now inside the corridor to Fraser. Not too much to go to, Josh Fraser. Just steadies and delivers into the centre, and the mark's taken by Cook.
He's told he's played on and he's mown down from behind, but he kept his footing long enough to get it to Burns. Goes towards Cloak and Thomas. Half volley, terrific collect on the left side. Rocker there, 3 against him. Bauer it was, got the fist in and just reaches the line. Rocker dangerous in the second quarter.
Watch this movement. Just swoops on it clean. One touch player. You love to see them.
So the Magpies by 3 points now as Houlihan casually kicks to Bannister. Carazzo again racking them up, coming in for his 15th disposal. Off towards Russell. He's got Cox to beat here. Jordan Russell got the handball clear. It was a good tackle. 2-on-2 contest. Cox, oh gee, was pinged, almost threw it out. Waite tackled, but tackled high, says the umpire.
Fend off was too high.
Free kicks 18-7 in favour of the Blues. No, the fend off was too high. Okay.
17-8.
There you go. I thought for a moment the Clement tackle was a bit high there, but the free kick was already given away. And the mark's taken by Clark on the wing. Has O'Brien inside. He ignores that. And called to play on now, Marty Clark. Not much to go to. So decides to handball to the experienced Clement, who chips wide, and the mark taken by Goldsack.
Feels like a real critical period in the game for Carlton now. They've worked really hard, had a lot of possession. They wouldn't want to drop off and get 3 or 4 goals down before half-time.
2-1 for the quarter, and Goldsack being forced to retreat here. by Blackwell that he gives to Cox. And Cox threads to Clark. Now Presta Giacomo. That's not so good. Fisher having to go back with Cook. O'Halpin, Bauer, Betts. Hoping for Favola, I think, but Fisher got there first. Hasn't got much forward of him. Gibbs had good position. O'Brien obliged with high contact.
O'Brien's ability to stay body to body is quite remarkable.
Just looking at some of Josh Fraser's work, I mean, that is just superb understanding with Dane Swan. Another centre bounce hit out here. He's got himself on top, Josh Fraser.
Favola takes the hand pass. Waite climbing from behind. Burns, though. Collingwood with numbers at the contest. Heathshaw, Thomas. Forwards of both teams having to work hard up and down the ground. Now Maxwell. Magpies with their noses in front.
Dale Thomas is on again here. That is just a great work rate. Kick the ball to Maxwell and he's run 140 metres.
And it's a beautifully weighted kick for Cloak, who's been pretty well contained so far by Bannister in an interesting matchup called by Brett Ratton. Now Johnson weaving through the traffic, loading up and almost getting a result with Swan climbing. Collingwood behind, the lead 4 points.
They're starting to build momentum, Collingwood. They're just starting to get on top, or they probably have got on top in this early part of the second quarter. Carlton have to be mindful, work their way through it.
Saddington, the kick wasn't great, and Collingwood were able to force a boundary throw in with Davis being competitive. And boundary throw in half forward for the Magpies. Heath Scotland, outstanding with 10 marks already in the match. Ackland knocks it back towards Houlihan. Hard up against the line, decides to try and squeeze a kick towards Simpson. Wasn't effective, but he was pushed in the bat. And a free kick to Carlton. And Kade Simpson to take it. Right half back for the Blues.
Bannister giving to Carazzo. Now Bauer, good work from Medhurst. He gets a free kick. As Bauer, having taken him on, just did not get any part of his boot onto the ball.
Bit of responsibility in this goes to Andrew Carazzo. He's called for the ball in the wrong position there. Put his teammate under huge pressure. I think Brett Ratton would like to see him just spread from the contest and perhaps be a bit more unselfish there.
Medhurst's had only one kick and a couple of hand passes. Ever ambitious. Likes the look of them from outside 50. Changes his mind. Goes for Rocker. The youngster Jamison attacked the ball, didn't take it with him. Davis under pressure. Push in the back. Collingwood free kick.
You landed on top of him.
The players have to be careful in the way in which they do come down on players going to ground. And he did fall on his back.
That was a little bit early.
Oh, dear.
I reckon that was pretty harsh.
Oh, I don't reckon it was a free kick.
Davis from 40 should go. He doesn't. The margin is 5 points. Well, if you fall on someone's back, you actually are pushing with your body weight in their back.
I don't know whether he does.
He fell to the side of him, didn't he? I mean,
I don't know whether that's purely in the back.
Gee, Bentic short. Greek.
we have to agree to disagree, I think, this side of the table.
It's kind of free kick.
Oh, dangerous one. Now a chance for Shaw. It was a brilliant interception. Now Grigg right under the pump. Hard up against the line. Swan keeps it in. He's got Didak inside. Kicks back. Shaw's got it. Shaw off the Cloak. Left foot snap. Brilliantly smothered. Great stuff from the Carlton defence. Cook fighting. But Carlton defence holding on as Grigg, who made the initial mistake, clears the immediate area. It certainly was. And now Fisher in space on the southern wing. Away he goes. A couple of bounces. Kicks towards half forward. Going back. Good mark taken by Cox. Brave stuff. And he's got it on defensive 50 for the Magpies.
Has a target. Good target too. Goldsack.
Leon Davis is out by about 50 metres here.
And it's going to cause Waite to have to cover a lot of territory to close the door. Meanwhile, Lockyer runs on. Davis comes inside to O'Brien and misses. Murphy, fresh from a rest on the bench. And now Carlton on the rebound. Fisher still hovering in midfield. Good delivery to Russell, who is within range. Errors.
And I just wonder, boys, whether the decision from Leon Davis, whether to play on with his pace to take the opposition on, wouldn't have been a better option in that situation.
Off the one step, trying to come inside. Very dangerous kick, opens you up. This is what happens. Bang, bang, straight down the middle of the ground.
It probably goes right back to Jordan Bannister's smother on Cloak's kick. And it gives Russell a shot at goal, and he puts Carlton back in front.
Inside 50s, domination by the Magpies in this second quarter after Carlton held sway easily in the first. Back in the centre, Maxwell, what a tap it was. Down to Ben Johnson, wide. Jackson's got a hand in there, it was a good one. Raw soccer from, an errant soccer from Didak, picked up by Jamison, eventually hacked out of there by Thornton, up to Clement. And what's the umpire going to do here? A free kick to Collingwood. There you go. So the free kick at half-back to be taken by Clark.
9 lead changes now. Big crowd at the MCG, as there always is, for Collingwood and Carlton, and they're getting their money's worth in this opening half. It is a battle to honour the great tradition. Maxwell gives away a free kick here, and the umpire insists that the ball be given up to Bannister, who was the recipient. Now Simpson, and the Blues sensing an opening. Go for it. Scotland waiting, drawing, giving to Simpson. That's not so hot for Fisher. Simpson keeps coming. Grigg there as well. Just couldn't get it out. So there'll be a ball up. Favola has not been able to escape Prestigiacomo's clutches. How is he, Andrew Marr? Any sign of an injury?
No, none at all, Tim. He's just part of Brett Radden's rotations and hasn't been getting in touch, as you said.
O'Halpin in ruck. There's a tangle off the ball. And it's another free kick against Bryce Gibbs. Second in about a minute. It'll go to Maxwell.
Interesting matchup. Prestigiacomo currently finds himself on Eddie Betts as the Magpies clear defence. Clark, couple of casual bounces down the northern wing and a third. Can he find a target? Towards half forward. Bauer got in there. A fist. Jamison, little fumble, allowed Didak to tackle. What's the umpire going to do here? He says, give it to me. Bounce. Half forward for Collingwood.
Well, the other guy that's been very good so far in his role has been Thornton on Didak. That has been a good matchup. He's doing a super job at the moment on him.
Waite wins it wide. Didak dragged down without it.
Let me down.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That was a sensational smother from Brett Thornton.
So presumably the umpire had called play on. Otherwise, it would have been a 50, wouldn't it?
So a boundary throw in. O'Brien thumps it forward. Well done by Swan. Got a fist in there. Cook, good handball, sets Davis away. Drives it from 50 to the goal square. One out. Cloak going back. No. Yes, great mark. Great mark from Travis Cloak. 3 metres from goal, directly in front. And that is where the matchup with Bannister is an issue for the Blues, because one-on-one in the physical strength state, Travis Cloak's going to win hands down every time.
Well, the worst place for any defender is stuck in that position when you know you're cold, gone.
He puts the Magpies back in front.
So the lead changes again. Travis Cloak kicks his second. He's only taken 3 marks, and Jordan Bannister has done very well. Ackland and Fraser. And no takeaway. No. So an important 5.5 minutes remaining in the opening half. That was Bannister winning a contest a while ago.
Yeah, and they've certainly made a lot of smothers. They did last week also. Carlton had an extraordinary number of smothers last week, so it's obviously been a focus, or pure luck, I'm not sure, but their intensity has certainly lifted.
Burns getting it out to Ben Johnson. Just has to buy a bit of time. Did it well. And then receives from Cox. Great move by Johnson. And a pretty good ball too. Davis and Houlihan. Oh, Davis. Above his head is not necessarily his favoured spot, but he did it well.
How's the strength there from Scott Burns? I mean, most players actually just concede and say, we'll have another ball up. Well, he doesn't. He just backs his strength in and bullocks his way through the pack. And we could have been back in the centre with the ball up. Instead, Leon Davis has got a certain shot on goal.
Yeah, to give Collingwood as good a break as it's had. And he makes no mistake. It's the Magpies by 11.
Brett Radden, just for a moment, Collingwood have got an extra player, Leon Davis, in their attacking 50, not a Carlton player. Now,
it's a new tactic.
Yeah,
First man of the forward line.
Getting down Jackson now, sprinting down from the wing to cover Leon Davis. And we'll get another ball up, so Jackson gets a breather as he finds his position. Russell getting back to play on Davis. There's Jordan Russell arriving at the scene.
It's a massive ball up, this one. If it goes Carlton's way,
a lot of congestion.
Ackland, good tap, but straight to Burns. Clears the area. Davis again, couldn't quite hold on this time, but snaffled it. Superb stuff from Davis. Left foot from 40, he is close. Bounces and hits the post. Gee, what a drag, what a claw it was from Leon Davis. A bit of a smile there, but offline, margin 12 points.
If you're a Carlton backman at the moment, you'd be going to the midfield and saying, you've just got to win some footy going our way, because I don't think they can sustain the sort of pressure. Easy kicks inside their forward 50.
Houlihan, the front half is open. Favoula's had to come a long way from goal. Now it's one-on-one up forward. Halpin and Clement. Fev's gone them. He's gone the whole journey. He has kicked a ball burster. He seized the moment, and he almost bursted it, it seems.
Well, this is a great example of someone just kicking it at the goals. The space was there. They're running towards the goals. And, well, I mean, I say on the bounce, but it was a metre before. I mean, what was he out? About 65 metres. So there's a fair roost.
It's like a good golf swing, isn't it? I mean, he just relaxed. He didn't try and kick it too hard, and it just came off the boot absolutely superbly.
Only been back on the ground about 35 seconds, too, before he got that ball.
Yes, it was great work. Margin back to 6 points. Fraser again dominating off to Clark. A wide kick, don't know about that so much. Maxwell working hard, back towards Clark, breaks one tackle. Good pace, Marty Clark. Kicks to Clark, who marks 60 from goal. Got a loose player just inside attacking 50. Decides to kick to the hot spot. Anthony Rocker, look out. Couldn't quite hold it. Lockyer Soccer, it's offline. Gee, he had Leon Davis there, riding shotgun, and decided to kick it off the ground. 7 points the margin. Could have been a Collingwood goal there.
Kane Ackland needs a new tactic at the centre square bounce. He just can't allow that sort of easy, uncontested possession. He's got to hit the body, even if it's a 50-50 contest.
Simpson got the long call from Scotland, who broke away from Swan. Reece Shaw arrives, though. Well played. The hand pass just a bit too strong for Swan, so a throw in on the wing. 3 minutes left, a tremendous joust this. And Chriso, we've got some jousting coming up at half-time, a couple of special interviews. One with a star player who's announced his retirement during the week, and another one with a coaching candidate who's pulled out of the race.
Yes, well, you had the coaching candidate last week.
Can't wait.
Got nothing, I'll try today.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll do better than I did. Thornton knocking it away from Didak, but Lockyer, favoured by the bounce, pokes it towards Burns. Didn't bounce for him, though. He wraps up Jamison. And there'll be a ball up.
Just going back to that contest, the Ruckman's contest, you don't want that free hand. That's the last thing you want from an opposition midfield, is to get that free ball where he can do what he likes with it. You just need that contest.
19-10 in terms of the tackle count this quarter in favour of the Magpies as Fraser shovels it to Burns. There's Ben Johnson in support. Twisting, turning, jams it onto the left boot. High towards Lockyer in a good spot. Gee, an uncontested mark inside attacking 50. For a long kick coming in was poor defence. And he'll kick for goal from 40 metres. Collingwood's leading possession winner. An outstanding first quarter. Been a little quieter in the second term, but coming in for disposal number 14.
He's had the tough assignments too on Murphy. Done a very good job.
So Tarkin Lockyer to extend the Collingwood lead. And I reckon he was lucky to score a point. Margin out to 8 points.
Could be significant if it's a draw. Seen any of those lately, Luke?
It's a sore point, Tim.
We might talk about it at half-time. So, it's Collingwood by 8 points in the last 2 minutes. Simpson to Gibbs, with Burns arriving and just overshooting a little. So Gibbs can play on to Scotland. Biggest disposal earner out there. That's number 18, and it's a good one to Fisher. Favola's one out, and he's again come a long way from home. Presti wearing him like the proverbial. Fev just sinks the boot. Wayne Harms isn't there for the Blues, though. Heath sure is. His dad was playing in that 1970 grand final. Maxwell bangs it long in the Lockyer direction, but Carlton have 2 against him. O'Halpin is one, and the other is Jackson, and they team up well. Now Collingwood with the numbers. Clement, goal before half-time. Would be big either way, and Clement has Lockyer loose. Jackson covering him, and the youngster did well. You'd count his games on the fingers of one hand. He's doing all right. Davis has the menacing O'Halpin coming at him, and O'Halpin does just enough. So a throw in.
Leon Davis, 9 disposals for the quarter, up to 13 for the match. Fraser, free hand. Deft tap down towards O'Brien, but the Blues midfield are able to tie it up in a bounce on the wing.
You'd think that one of the other Carlton midfielders would actually come third man up now, Vossi, and give O'Halpin a bit of a chop out. He's just come onto the ball. He's working hard, but take the initiative. Be proactive. See if someone goes third man up here.
Time enough for the team to score. 37 seconds at the bounce. Murphy, Blackwell, well played. Now Betts a chance for the Blues. Eddie Betts running in space. Well done, handball to Simpson. He's on his wrong side, but he was able to cleverly kick it out wide towards Jamison. Make yourself a hero, son, and he does he? No.
Oh, he celebrated. Oh, he
doesn't realise. He doesn't know.
That's the greatest point he's ever kicked.
Oh. There you go. Look at that. Reminds me of Greg Hall. 95 Melbourne Cup.
He can't believe it.
I really hope it's not a draw now. And it's half-time, man. What a spirited half of football it's been. The 6th place Magpies have been well and truly challenged by the 14th place Blues, just 7 points in it.
Well, this is game on. There's no doubt about that. Carlton are prepared to run and share the ball. They've already had 191 possessions for the half, so prepared to flick it around, and they're really serving it up to Collingwood. I think they were a bit scared at the start. They weren't too sure, thought they could take it easy, but Collingwood working their way back into this game.
Don't go away. 2 of the week's newsmakers, Luke Darcy and Michael Voss, during the half-time interval. Welcome back to the G with an early edition of Saturday Special. Some of the most unbelievable goals you'd wish to see for the season. That audacious dribbler from Jared Waite-Setanta, who's just a walking highlight machine, plucking one out of the ruck. What about the work being done by Leon Davis? The goals on display in the first half is something to behold. Just some wizardry from the little Collingwood Dynamo. And Fev, who'd just been benched before he came back on, he'd been on for about 30 seconds, launched one from 70. What a towering kick it was. Bounced just before the line. It has been a super game of footy. Scores from around the other grounds, of course, down at Skilled Stadium. The Cats in control of the Tigers at half-time. But this is the tight one, boys, and it looks like being a compelling second half of footy. It does, Andrew. 7 points is Collingwood's margin. The Blues having the better of the first quarter. Collingwood hitting back in the second. There are Bannister and Cloak. Cloak much taller, bigger body.
You know, he's battled manfully, and Collingwood in that second quarter were able to just tighten their game up a bit. They didn't have as many clangers. I think they had 24 in the first quarter, only 8 in the second. Their tackles, they have been outstanding, 39 to 26. And their contested gets, they're starting to win the ball around the middle of the ground. So getting that back on an even keel.
Who can make the early running here? Collingwood's ball. Clark squeezing it out, but Bentick steals it. Ackland down at his bootlaces, not his preferred spot. Scotland delayed. Betts just couldn't get balanced. O'Halpin back to Betts. Now he might get balanced. Not quite sufficiently. And the difference is a goal.
Well, that scoring opportunity was set up from a centre bounce, and that was the issue in the first quarter that we were talking about, the ruckman being able to get his hand on the ball. And Kane Ackland, that was just an outstanding jump, got his side and a scoring opportunity.
Magpies working out of defence. Prestigiacomo to Swan, now Clark. Marty Clark, the Irishman. What an introduction he's had to AFL football. Harry O'Brien at half back. Chips it to Swan. Swan finds Thomas on centre wing. So the Magpies just happy to maintain possession for the moment. Carlton getting numbers back. Just one player in the attacking half for the Blues as Thomas launches towards half forward. A couple of Carlton players spoil each other. Spilt at Simpson, who has a couple of bounces as he runs across the Collingwood goal face. Off to Thornton. No pressure from the Magpies here. Thornton is able to casually run to half-back. Handball over the top to Jackson, who chips it to Russell. And an easy clearance there for the Blues. Jordan Russell. Kick towards half forward. Well done, Thomas. Working hard. And affected the spoil on Houlihan. And we'll get a boundary throw in half forward for the Blues.
As he spoiled Houlihan in a way in which Houlihan failed to spoil Thomas in front of goal during the second quarter. Ackland wins again and again. Helped on by Jackson. And the ruckman will have another contest.
Carlton have made the move here and put their best stopper, Andrew Carrazzo, onto Tarkin Lockyer, who was probably the most dominant player in the first half.
Lockyer 14 possessions. Murphy, his opponent in that first half, had just half a dozen. Carlton's ball again. Scotland just lobbing that in a gap between players. Clement with Favola coming at him hard and making a pretty good tackle of it. Now Simpson for the Blues. Clement and Favola are still at it. Simpson's kick falls short. Swan in the way for Collingwood. Favola with 2 first half goals. The man who is his counterpart at the other end, Rocker, has had just 1 possession. It's about to come into his part of the football ground from O'Brien. And Rocker wins against Saddington and can go back and line them up.
Well, he hasn't had a whole lot of one-on-one contests, and the ones that he has had, Saddington's done pretty well. But as you can see, he just uses Saddington's body as leverage, protects the ball drop, and then moves into it. So well done. Just quick ball movement.
Collingwood fans are inclined to become a little more nervous when Rocker is in about this mid-range. The man on the mark is 30 metres out. And it gets him. Collingwood lead by 7 points.
And that's where their advantage is going to be, Collingwood. If they can get that ball in quick and get the one-on-one contest, that's how you're going to be able to utilise the undersized Carlton players.
Good kick from Houlihan, finds Jamieson at half-back. Collingwood have had 9 marks already in this quarter, which is only 4 minutes old. They had a total of 11 in the first. Weight put down by Maxwell, and he gets the free kick. So Jared Waite has got a short option. Kane Ackland.
Stay there.
Margin 7 points. Important, this first goal in the third term. Dangerous kick inside. Carrazzo didn't take the mark, but had enough poise to gather it. And off to Jamieson. Back to Carrazzo. Houlihan, Carrazzo again. So 3 disposals in that little bit, all because he dropped the mark.
Back 2 metres. Play on.
Fisher now from the wing. Kicks towards Gibbs. Just fell a fraction short. Now Gibbs dragged that back under. What's the umpire going to do here? He says, give it to me. A bounce 60 metres from Carlton's goal. Cleverly done now. That was a little altercation between Clement and Favola. Just James letting Brendan know. Gibbs, well done. Kicks it clear inside attacking 50. Betts runs onto the football, but it's a superb tackle coming from Reece Shaw. Goldsack has it. He's well tackled in turn by Russell. Umpire letting it go. Bentic off to O'Halpin. He's already kicked 1 miracle goal. Not this time. Free kick to the Magpies out on the full.
Agonised look from the big Irishman. James Clement doesn't like the first ball, like a tennis player about to serve. Collingwood by 7. Loney, left footer, and just a little off balance with that, but he gets it to Cook, who gives to Clark. A couple of the Collingwood rookies. Now Reece Shaw running between them and going for Rocker. Down at the bootlaces, difficult for him. Clark fights on. Shaw still there as well, and he might be able to have a go at them. Has he got the carry? Not quite. Lockyer arrives. Cloak's got it, kicks his third.
Brett Ratton, couple of concerns. Margin out to 13 points, which is the biggest in the match that's seen the lead change 10 times. Fraser, but he gives it straight to Ackland. Well done, Bentic. Good tackle, though, by Heath Shaw, who drags it under, needs to get it out of the immediate area. He does for the moment. And we get a bounce. Intense Mick Malthouse. Collingwood desperate for this victory to stay in touch with the top four. Waite keeps his hands clear, gives it off to Scotland, who's been superb today. Great kick, wasn't it brilliant? Favola didn't break stride, and this time Simon Prestigiacomo couldn't go with him, and Brendan Favola will line up for goal number 3. Look at the kick here.
Well, it's almost a set play. Scotland wrapping around the back of the stoppage and then delivers forward to the into the forward line, but he's been used a few times in that role so far.
It's a funny way he holds the ball, isn't it, to have a set shot, but it is very effective.
Chance here for the quick reply. Brendan Favola's kicked a couple already. It's close. It's home. Carlton get one back.
Bit critical in the second quarter of Kane Ackland, but he is the reason why Carlton are in this game at the moment. He's really turned his ruck work around.
And he's doing a bit of roving there as well. Did it pretty well. Gibbs helping it to Murphy. Just escaping Heath Shaw, kicking to space. Burns. Waite read it well, but overran it. Burns receiving from Loney. Lobbing it for Lockyer. Swan. Maxwell against Jamison. First gamer did all right for Carlton. Bit of tunnel ball from Maxwell. Didak, all Carlton. Ackland to Waite. Now Gibbs. Blues build again. Running inside for him is Murphy. Running into trouble. So back to Gibbs. There's a free kick. Murphy's ball. In fact, it's relayed because Gibbs is adjudged to be closer to goal, although I'm not sure about that. He kicks straight to Goldsack, who has Didak in good posse. Thornton with him. A little grapple. Good pressure by the Blues. Gibbs laying a good tackle there, and it came free. Simpson to Bentic. Back to Simpson. Bentic again. And there is a hold away from the ball. It's Carlton's footy, and it's going to be relayed because the mark's been taken up ground. And Favola can have a shot. It was going to be a Carlton free kick, but in the end it effectively became an advantage call.
Cade Simpson not too happy with the treatment there. Good to see a bit of spirit as always, and we couldn't have asked for a better result for them because Brendan Favola has got the foot on. Just look how high he holds the ball with that top end. Just bizarre.
He's becoming a big factor. He was goalless in the first quarter, but he kicked 2 in the second and already has 1 in the third. Within range for him, but that's not a great result. It's a behind. Carlton have kicked 1-2 to Collingwood's 1-1 for the quarter. I reckon they might square this quarter, Chriso. Collingwood have lost their past 5 third quarters. Carlton have lost their past 6.
It's not great form, is it? Great kick from Burns finds Ryan Cook, who's been very good in his first game of footy. Cloak going back, couldn't hold on this time. Didak front and centre. Under pressure, he's outnumbered there, but he's able to get the kick forward. Saddington comes to meet and does very well. Off to Scotland. Thornton. Now, umpire calls for a Carlton free kick. Saddington to take it. Another job on Anthony Rocker today. Bentic. Missed last week, back in his Carlton side this afternoon. Coming in for his 14th disposal. Back to Thornton, who's under no pressure as he casually trots from the back pocket. And kicks and finds Blackwell at half back. Luke Blackwell. He's got an option on the wing. Jordan Russell couldn't quite hold on, and chance here for the Magpies. O'Brien gets a good shepherd from Goldsack and kicks towards Didak. Had too much on it though, and Murphy read it superbly. Drives it back. Fisher couldn't quite hold on. Again, O'Brien working hard at the fall. Off to Ben Johnson. Got an option out wide. Reece Shaw sweeps it further afield. Swan 50 from goal. Steadies himself. Drives it long and is just offline. Margin back out to 7 in favour of Collingwood.
$50-metre penalty here.
No. Kate Simpson's ball. Kate Simpson's son.
A relayed free kick. So Carlton's footy. Simpson off to Houlihan to Scotland, who's been outstanding. And this is Jamison.
It's been a good debut so far.
What a day to make your debut for Carlton against Collingwood. Poor kick to Simpson, put him under pressure.
No opportunity.
Nearly blew it for him, Dust.
So still just a goal each in this quarter. And it is becoming willing. There's plenty of tension out there, and it's mounting as the game wears on. Good ruck work from O'Halpin there, but Blackwell couldn't break.
Opportunity. Just watch it, Leon and Andrew. Leon, watch it, please. Andrew.
Santana's obviously not an experienced ruckman. It's probably a good ploy for one of the Carlton players to give him a hand here against Josh Fraser, who's been around a long time. Get third man up and give him a hand.
Fraser winning that one clearly. Cook, well tackled by Blackwell. Did he have... Well, the ball came loose. And Carlton win the clearance, but Reece Shaw is getting better as this match wears on.
Waits for Clement to run and hands it over the top. Clement now kicks towards Medhurst. Oh, spectacular grab. Full stretch he was, Paul Medhurst. Drives it long towards Leon Davis, who's the target. Oh, he got up, couldn't take it. And at the fall, it's all Carlton. Carazzo, dangerous handball, though Houlihan, deft touch. Oh, they're still in trouble. Carazzo smothered by Didak. Chance for Thomas. Thomas gets to Davis, but Carazzo tackles him. And we'll get a ball up 25 metres from Collingwood's goal.
There's Thomas in picture. He's just struggled the last couple of weeks. We see this great lunge at the mark. Great catch.
Fraser wins it forward. Didak a chance here. Over the top, Jawson, a great handball. Ben Johnson couldn't take it, and it's all Carlton here. They've got the numbers. Thornton, Blackwell shares it with that man, Scotland again, and he kicks it short. It's effective. Mark taken by Russell.
Blues defence holding up well under pressure. Good kick from Russell to Murphy, who's finding some life in this quarter, relieved of the onerous task on Lockyer. Jackson out wide for Grigg. Now, difficult spot. Sitting it up. Waite arriving, flying, appealing, but not getting the umpire's verdict.
And there's Thomas, who we were mentioning before. He's had a pretty quiet match. He's getting more attention. The last couple of weeks he's been very quiet. Houlihan's been his partner for most of today, and he's only had the 9 possessions. They certainly need him up and going, and when he was, Collingwood were flying.
Ben Johnson gets it to Josh Fraser. Fraser, probing kick, finds Lockyer just beyond the wing. Tartan Lockyer coming in for his 15th disposal. Wants Rocker. Anthony Rocker set for this. Good strong hands. He leads the competition in contested marks. 55 from goal. Goes back, unloads a bomb, but it's offline. Through for a behind. And the margin out to 7 points, with the teams exchanging behinds at the moment.
Rocker's kicked a couple of them. Only had 2 kicks and 1 hand pass. Again, Carlton's defence is being asked the question. It's had 100 points kicked against it at its last 16 outings. If Collingwood kick 100 points today, Carlton will be moving into elite company, if you could call it that. More of that a bit later. Betts has been pushed in the back. It's Carlton's ball. Goals hard to come by at the moment. Eddie Betts for Fisher. Needed to be good. Couldn't quite hang on. Russell to Jackson. And that might be good for O'Halpin. Up there, O'Halpin.
Don't do it. It's right there.
You like his chances, Vossi, from here?
No, I reckon there's much chance of me coaching Carlton next year.
Well, this will be a very interesting kick.
Won't it just?
Well, I just thought I'd add some spice to it.
Come on, Satanta. From outside 50. Comes in at a weird angle. You're safe, Vossi. But it's a Carlton ball and Brad Fisher should kick the goal. He's uncanny the way he hauls down those marks. Near goal under a lot of pressure.
He's a beautiful mark. And he's just very clean when he goes for it. It doesn't normally bobble out of his hands. He's just wonderful when he gets space between him and the ball and he gets a chance to jump at it. He normally takes them.
So Fisher puts Carlton back within a point.
Just have a look at the centre square bounce. You've got Nick Maxwell in there taking a centre square bounce. If I was Kane Ackland, you'd take that as an insult that you'd play a player that size and you'd want to make an impact here.
Well, he got first hands to it, but Maxwell almost got the first kick out or a high tackle on Jackson. In fact, Murphy it is, in the centre circle. So the Blues now have kicked the last couple, gaining some momentum. Scotland's been devastating, not 15. Good tackle, Didak. What's the umpire going to do here? He was able to get it clear, and the Blues might get out of this as Houlihan handballs back in the direction of Scotland. This way, that way. Wasn't a great kick, although it might land with Murphy. Confusion there between Russell and Murphy. Murphy's got it. Hold on to it for a long time. Davis now. He's got it for a long time, going nowhere. And the umpire calls for it. Bounce 60 from Carlton's goal.
Well, one thing Carlton have now is that they have hope. They can see it. They can sniff it. And they like what they see. And Collingwood need to be able to find something. It's now getting very serious.
Wait, third man up, knocks it forward. Gibbs, well done. Carazzo tackled by a couple. Did he have prior opportunity? Ball jars free. Heathshaw got it, going nowhere. Another bounce, this time 45 metres from Carlton's goal.
And you can see them start to swarm. They're just starting to swarm the Blues. Hunting in numbers. They've lifted the intensity.
The question being asked of Collingwood. Ackland down to Carazzo, to Blackwell, to Simpson. Can he put the Blues in front? Not with that kick. Favola there. Fisher. Gibbs calling for it outside. Simpson there as well. Gets another chance now. On the preferred side, Ackland and Maxwell. Ackland went a bit early. Favola. Carazzo helping it back to Fev. Numbers against him. But Waite's got it from a long way. Goes for broke and puts the Blues in front. Look at that ladder between 5th and 12th. Now Collingwood are 6th. They lose this game and they find themselves very vulnerable. They could be 8th at the end of the round.
Yeah, it's a must-win game for the Magpies. The 11th lead change in the match. Maxwell again battling hard, but Ackland decisively. Well done by Jackson, who's been very good in this term. So is Carazzo. Murphy's had a bit of it as well. Well tackled by Ben Johnson. He does well enough to just bottle it up. And another bounce, just the attacking side of the circle for the Magpies. Brett Ratton enjoyed seeing his side kick the last 3 goals of the match. Cox knocks it forward only as far as Carazzo, who wobbles the kick towards centre half forward. Bauer on the ground. Clement comes to meet it. Gathers at the ground level, but he's immediately tackled by Russell, going nowhere. So a bounce at the front of the centre square for the Blues.
Well, it's still Kane Ackland versus Nick Maxwell on the ruck, and if in this position you really want to dominate a non-recognised ruckman.
Carlton's quarter so far. Oh, Thornton outpoints Didak. Outpointed him with the body and then took a very good mark. Houlihan gives to Saddington, who's been very good on Rocker. Keeps it wide for Bauer. Cleaned it, bowled by the bounce. Goldsack giving it off. Free kick to Burns, held after getting rid of the ball. Bentic not happy, but it was there. Burns looping it for Lockyer, but Houlihan arrives. And it's all Carlton at the front. Carazzo back to Houlihan. Andrew Carazzo emerging as a very good midfielder. Now Bauer for Carlton. If they kick the next, Collingwood are off the bit, and Favola will line them up from comfortable range. The Blues have kicked 3 goals to 1 for the quarter. And right now, with Favola lining up for his 4th, they have the chance to gain their biggest lead of the day. Pivotal moment in the game. Favola is getting it together. It's the Blues by 11.
Some concerns now for Mick Malthouse. Andrew Carrazzo helping set that last goal up, has had 14 disposals in this 3rd quarter. Sensational game. Again, Ackland to Bentic. This is costing Collingwood not having Josh Fraser on the ground. Kick to half forward. Bauer, well tackled by Goldsack, but again the support there for the Blues. Blackwell, in the end, lost Cox. Bentic couldn't control it. Here's that man again. Carrazzo kicks to a central location. Ackland couldn't quite get there. Josh Fraser now on the ground. Couldn't control it. Prestigiacomo does well just to sock it out of the immediate area. Favola leads the race. He's outnumbered 2-on-1. And the Magpies clear. Prestigiacomo to Maxwell. Sweeping handball to Loney. Need a goal here, the Magpies. Handball wider to Didak. And the non-dominant side, a dangerous kick, but it's effective, and he finds Swan. 2.5 minutes left in the quarter. Ben Johnson. Nice sidestep. Sets it up. Challenge here for Rocker. Rocker. Too big, too strong again. And this is a must-kick goal for the Magpies. 35 metres out directly in front.
Well, the players standing up for Carlton through the middle of the ground. Carrazzo, Scotland are getting their hands on it. Simpson. Collingwood needs someone to stand up, and Rocker is the man to be able to do this. Not the only one. Shaw, Didak, Thomas need a lift. I saw a man last night who dragged the team up, and that was Scotty West, and Rocker has the capabilities also.
He comes in, drop punt, swinging back. He's kicked it. Margin back to 5 points in favour of the Blues.
The key forwards are coming into play. Favola a 2-goal quarter, Rocker 1, but it could have been better. Carlton's lead back to 5 points in the last seconds. The last 100 seconds of the quarter, and it's Collingwood's ball out of the middle. They can turn for home in front. Swan places this for Fraser. And the Collingwood big man has a look. Rocker leads. That's where he goes. Just a bit strong for him. And they were all there to rove for the Blues. Bentic to Thornton, who is cool in defence. And the delivery was excellent. And Bauer's hands were good. Carlton youngster, that was a very accomplished mark.
Josh Fraser has been on the ground for about a minute and has had an impact already.
Jackson, that's a well-weighted kick, and Carlton with a couple of very interesting young players entering their ranks in recent weeks. Now Bannister, who's had the big job on Travis Cloak, and he's done well. Murphy uses it well. That was brilliant. And Favola can have another go. Presti's claiming he came up with it.
He's hurt his shoulder there. Hopefully not too bad.
Let's go back and leave it.
Fev's going to have the kick. New Hall of Fame inductee, the late Bob McLean from South Australia. When he played in the 1930s, once broke his ribs and he lined up for his team the next week. He said, I don't run with my ribs. Fev doesn't kick with his shoulder.
True, but you run with your lungs.
Outside 50, but within his range. It'll be probably the last kick of the quarter. The fans don't like it. Carlton's lead is 6 points. Favola has 4 goals too. The Blues take a 1 straight kick advantage into the last term.
Yeah, they certainly do, Tim. And you just
get the feeling that Carlton will come into the three-quarter time huddle now with enormous belief. They would have entered the game. Brett Ratton would have said, we can get the job done today. If you just persevere, if you put pressure on the opposition, we're a chance to win. I'm not sure if they believed it, but they believe it now, and that's important. Collingwood, can they turn the switch back on? Can they lift their intensity, get themselves over the line? It's going to be a very interesting last quarter.
Carlton kicked 4 goals to 2 in the term. They turned a 7-point deficit into a 6-point lead. A big quarter coming up for Collingwood. Third side, Ackland and Maxwell. Ackland went a bit early. Favola. Carazzo helping it back to Fev. Numbers against him. Waite's got it from a long way. Goes for broke and puts the Blues in front. It was the second of 4 goals on the trot by the Blues in that third quarter. Collingwood pulled 1 back before the siren, but it's Carlton by a goal. Brett Ratton's price has tumbled many points this week to be the next permanent coach of Carlton. And are the Magpies wobbling? Well, that'll be in Mick Malthouse's mind at the moment. Leon Davis has only played 49 minutes. He could be a danger here.
Yeah, some fresh legs there. Burns, Swan, Fraser having the best part of 20-plus minutes off through the game. So this is going to be very important for Collingwood to be able to run out this game, because they need those guys getting their hands on it.
Well, I also think Kane Ackland becomes a big factor in this game. He's had enormous amount of time on the bench. He got them back in. You can see he's only played 54 of a possible 89 minutes. He got them back into the game in that third quarter. His ruck work was outstanding. He's got to be fresh. He'll go head-to-head with Josh Fraser, and that will have a big bearing on who wins this game.
Andy Marr, what's the news on Favola's shoulder?
Tim, the news is pretty good. He's come back out to start the final quarter. They worked on the deep AC joint at the three-quarter time huddle after this incident that we saw late in that third quarter when he wrenched it, protecting himself on the fall. They worked on it, as I said. The physio spent a lot of time with him. He seems to have brushed the physio off now. He was in a bit of pain, but he's okay. They're going to give him a chance to get out in the start of the last quarter and continue the momentum that he largely has created towards what would be an unbelievable victory by the Carlton Football Club. They were particularly up in their three-quarter time huddle. There's no thoughts of priority picks down there. They want to win this game of footy.
And the way he's played in the last 2 weeks will really have anyone at Carlton who was talking about getting rid of him having a bit of a rethink.
Yeah, and good on him for being able to fight his way out of that. And this is a really, really important, of course it's an important quarter for Carlton, but in the context of the season, this is a very big quarter for Collingwood.
So the Blues start the final quarter leading by 6 points. And the crowd, big crowd at the MCG, finding voice. Ackland versus Fraser. Fraser gets it to Burns. Burns handball run down by Simpson. Johnson was tackled high. He'll get the free kick. Interesting that Collingwood has lost 6 of its last 8 fourth quarters. Carlton has just won 2 of 17 final quarters for the season. So, talking about nil or draws in the third quarter. As Burns kicks towards Lockyer, who marks uncontested, 55 from goal. Decides to kick to the goal square. Rocker dropping back. He's in a good spot here. Rocker couldn't hold on. Davis the crumb. Well done by Jackson. Chance out wide for Davis. Still over the football, Leon Davis. Head down, tackled by Simpson, and the umpire will call for a bounce in the pocket.
You can see Collingwood set up at three-quarter time. They gave Anthony Rocker the whole forward 50 arc just about. He got a one-on-one contest, although Brett Thornton came back and just managed to make an effort there and cause a spill.
Rocker and Ackland. Ackland finds it on the ground off to Carazzo. What a devastating third quarter he had. Oh, did he drop that? He did, said the umpire. So free kick to Collingwood. Tarkin Lockyer with it. 50 from goal at right half forward. Couldn't kick it from there. Will need to find a target inside attacking 50. Where will he head? Decides to kick long to the top of the goal square. Rocker at the back. Thomas in front. And again we see this amazing vertical leap that he's got. And he was in front of the pack as we watched the free kick against Carazzo. That was the drop. That was the free kick. But Dale Thomas from 20 metres should level the scores.
Amongst the big blokes. Better judgment.
They all spent 20.
So Thomas hasn't had a big day. Just the 9 disposals, but a chance here to have an impact. Drop punt as a goal. Scores level at the MCG. So Collingwood off to a good start in this final term, and the fans finding voice.
Yeah, you can just see Ryan Houlihan in the background there. I think he just thinks that perhaps the big pack's going to come and take out his opponent and Dale Thomas. Well, Dale Thomas just thought about the footy and he said, "I'll grab it," and that's what he did. Really important start to get the first goal. Back in the contest, scores a level, and we've got a huge game on our hands.
And the Collingwood's important players touched the ball early in this last quarter. So that's an ominous sign for the Pies.
It's a game to hold its own within the great tradition of Carlton Collingwood encounters. The 235th time they've met. Scores level early in the last quarter. Collingwood's ball. Lockyer lobbing it high. Maxwell is there. Almost hung on. Fights on. And did well to get a target in Burns. Thomas lively early in the last. Now Johnson. Collingwood starting to put the pressure on Carlton. Rocker is there and he's got it. Standing like the Eiffel Tower, and nobody else could get up there and make it a contest.
G. Burns has been good around the contested area. I mean, what are we, 3 minutes 25 seconds into the fourth quarter, and he's had an impact already.
Just one goal for the day. Only one disposal in the first half. Still only had 4. He kicks his second goal and he puts the Magpies back in front.
Just 4 minutes into this final term, Brett Ratton, some early concerns because Collingwood have kicked the only 2 goals as Fraser hacks it towards Didak. Couldn't take the mark. Chance for Gibbs. Good handball to Houlihan. Under pressure, he kicks along the ground towards half forward. Johnson and Murphy. Well done by Murphy. Kicks towards centre half forward. Good mark out in front. Beautifully done, taken by Saddington. Playing now up forward from 60 metres. Gee, it's a driving kick to the goal scorer. Has it got the carry? It has! Sensational stuff from Jason Saddington.
Well, the move's been made. Big Satan has gone down on Anthony Rocker. It's a huge job for him. And Jason Saddington has gone down the other end and kicked the goal straight away.
It was a move that got a result, not necessarily the one that was the first priority for Brett Ratton. What a kick from Saddington. 60 metres out as he let it go. Ackland getting it out there. Carazzo not quite expecting it. So we'll have another ball up. Again, the scores are tied up. This has been a heck of a game.
Just got to watch Scott Burns around these contests. While so good at getting his hand on the ball or his body in the right position.
Hayden Kennedy puts it down. Fraser climbs over Ackland. Scotland. And has to go back and get it a second time. He's been heroic. Now Carazzo. 1-out contest here. Fisher and O'Brien. And Saddington again. There was a smother on that kick. And I reckon it's a touch ball and a throw in. It is. So Carlton get...
No, it's out.
It's not. It is out on the full. I thought it might have been touched off the boot.
So keep coming, the Blues. They've fought this game out so well. Their pressure has been fantastic. They've stuck to their task. Let's see whether they can do it for about another 25 minutes.
Ben Johnson got it towards Fraser. O'Brien lending support. Harry's away. A couple of bounces. Can he use it effectively? Here comes Rocker. Cloak in front. Couldn't take it. Good fist. And a chance for Thornton. A little confusion there between Simpson and Thornton for the Blues. Allows Davis to come in. He kicks it back in the Rocker direction. O'Halpin is the contested player there. Well done by Gibbs. Burns fights for it. He finds it at ground level but can't get it clear. And the umpire calls for a bounce 10 metres from Collingwood's goal. Well done, O'Halpin.
Just even physically in the air, O'Halpin looks like a better match for him, doesn't he? That long ball in. You think he might get his hand on the footy, O'Halpin?
Dangerous spot here for the Blues. Maxwell drags it back. He retrieves it back towards Cloak. Cloak gets around one, waltzes in and kicks a goal for the Magpies.
Travis Cloak's kicked a goal in every quarter. He's been a thorn for Brett Ratton's Blues all day. Collingwood in front again. Fraser beats Ackland, but Scotland has disposal number 27. Clemens stands in the Blues' way. It's a ragged old kick. but it's okay. Tough day at the office this. Collingwood can't afford to drop games like this if they're going to play in the finals. Ackland the first hand in there, but well read by the debutant Cook, whose delivery wasn't bad. But Jamison, the Carlton first gamer, was able to make the spoil on Medhurst. This time it's just Collingwood's side of the wing, although in the marshalling gate, as you can see. So just about midfield. Fraser and Ackland both fall over. Burns for Lockyer as Collingwood make another clearance, and that's a pretty good kick and a good result. Thomas has a bit to work with here. Rocker's got the run at it. Oh, it is a Collingwood mark, and it'll be Cloak. Carlton have done such a good job of holding Collingwood's big firepower in check through the day. But as Alan Jeans once said, as the game wears on, the big men don't get any smaller. Rocker, I reckon, had the first hands on that. You'd have to say it was a Collingwood mark.
Yeah, definitely a mark to Cloak. You've got to pay that.
So
lining up for his fifth.
Never kicked 5 goals in a game, Travis Cloak.
His kicking was wayward earlier in the year. He seems to be gaining control of it.
And he doesn't want to.
He has 4 goals won. 4 out of 5 ain't bad. Collingwood by 7 points.
So Cade Simpson at fullback to himself. He's got Scotland running very hard for him at half-back, and he marks in front of Cook. Played a wonderful game of football, Heath. Scotland, of course, former Magpie. Kicks to the lead of Saddington. Wasn't a great kick. Didak tries to knock it to Clement. They just confuse themselves for a moment, but Loney arrives to assist, chips it towards half-forward. Going back with courage was Houlihan, and he marks. And 50. I don't think the Collingwood fans will like that too much. So, be interesting to see what comes of this. But 50 metres to Ryan Houlihan.
Harsh call.
65 from goal. Kicks to the leader for Vola and hits him on the chest. And Brendan will have no trouble with the distance from here. He'll kick from 50.
Geez, his speed off the mark then was impressive. You know how quick he is, but he started on equal terms. We look at this 50-metre penalty. Tim Lane's not happy with it.
Well, he was in the air, wasn't he, before the mark had been taken.
Well, he sort of jumped then, got a bit of an assist while in the air.
So Favola kicking at goal number 5 to put the Blues back to within a point. Normally a beautiful kick of the football. Look at that, if you don't mind. Superb stuff from Brendan Favola. It's a 1-point ball game.
Well, we have a look at this vision again. The 50, it just gets a little assist. There was a push there. He did leave the ground, and when you leave the ground, well...
50 metres, do you think, Bossy?
Well, I still think the 50 metres is probably there. He did cannon into his back. He did get a little assist.
Carlton's ball. Carazzo. 33 for the day. Oh, a collision between Scotland and the hard-arriving Fisher there. Put 2 Blues out of it. And in fact, Betts is down and hurt. And Collingwood come away with it. Lockyer to Cloak. Come a long way from goal. Rocker's up there. He's 1 out. Saddington's back with him. He just quelled him, but it's a free kick. Rocker will line them up again. Oh, it's an interesting call by Brett Ratton. There's the Fisher and Scotland. Over the shoulder was the call. And it's there. There's no doubt.
Well, twice. Over the top, then comes in with the follow-through. Just there.
So Halpin given a couple of minutes at Rocker, but Saddington's gone back. Rocker, 2 goals since half-time for his 3rd. It is ramrod straight. Collingwood by 7 points.
Seven points the difference. Collingwood trail by 6 at three-quarter time. Halpin now in the ruck. Saddington back on Rocker. Well done by Jackson, got it clear. O'Halpin, nice sidestep, got boot to ball. Reece Shaw versus Betts. Well done by Reece Shaw. Was able to dribble it to Didak. It goes back to Clement. James Clement, great to see him back. Medhurst and Jamison. Jamison's done well in his first game of AFL football. Forces it over, boundary throwing on the wing.
And the value of having an extra ruckman, Das. I mean, Saddington's had to go now back, so O'Halpin can go into the ruck. Just throws you out a bit of whack.
O'Halpin's done well there. Jackson, Gibbs, good takeaway. Murphy for Carlton, and Favola's got it again. Well, that was like Swiss clockwork.
Is it time to make a change down the other end, Vossi? I mean, Favola at the moment just looks like he's got Presti's measure on the lead. Who would you put on him?
Well, at the moment, I'd keep it at present. I'd stay the same. Maybe Clement. But with that much space, your midfield is in that much space, they should be able to deliver like that to Brendan Favola.
Favola lining up for number 6. He was the match winner against Essendon in Carlton's thrilling win against another arch rival earlier in the year. He's hooked this. Collingwood's lead stands at 6 points. 5-3 for the enigmatic Fev.
Collingwood are normally ranked 16th in effectiveness from the kick out. They've actually been pretty good at it today, so this is a big play in the game. Can Carlton get the footy back off them? Stop this footy going back inside 50.
Clement decides to go long. Target is Cook, the first gamer, and he doesn't let him down. Good mark. Had to stretch over the top of Blackwell and did.
It's a great kick.
Cook, lead from Heath Short. And he marks between halfback and wing. Heath Shaw's got a target inside the centre square, but Goldsack sat and wait. Oh, gee, Wait did brilliantly, but Goldsack was able to retrieve it. Cox, Reece Shaw, he's got Clement out wide if he wants. He uses him. James Clement normally uses it well. Cloak and Rocker are deep. He goes deep towards Rocker. Rocker couldn't hold on this time. Play on's the call. And the Blues defence there did it beautifully. Thornton over to Scotland. Scotland now. Kicks towards the wing, but it wasn't a great kick. Swan, well done by Reece Shaw, provides the run, drills it onto the chest of Davis. The Magpies building here. Leon Davis, a little undecided of what to do. Tries to take Tom Waite and does. A casual bounce. Now he drives it to a central location. Fraser versus Ackland. In fact, the helping it was. Thomas kept the hands free. Ineffective handball. Carlton defence under pressure. They do it well. Bentic, well done to Greg Fisher, and the Blues out of trouble.
Not quite yet. Wait, well tied up by Loney. Now Fisher working down in the back half. The front half is open. Blackwell beaten by the bounce. Collingwood have numbers, but it comes back to Blackwell. Brilliant effort for Vola again.
Well done.
No words required. Collingwood got it out to 7 points. It could be back to level.
Look at that. Just plays the footy. He went the footy.
Favola, another chance for a 6th goal to level the scores inside the last 9 minutes. That's a better line. It is all even at the G.
Brendan Favola's kick 6. Concerns for Mick Malthouse. It's all tied up. 14-11 apiece. Fraser and O'Halpin. Fraser gets it down. Well done, Scotland again, getting first hands on the football. Medhurst a chance. Well done by Medhurst. Oh, gee, he kicked it straight into Fraser. Didak lends support, though. And the Magpies can still go forward towards Thomas, who marks.
Burns is on here.
He has to move, Rocker. He has to move. He's standing there waiting for it to get kicked on his head. He's got to lead a few times to give himself some room.
Well, kick from Thomas to a central location, and it's marked by Lockyer. Was it intended for Lockyer? We'll give Dale Thomas the credit, because as Rocker was standing in the goal square, the 2 Carlton players, you can see there, Bannister and O'Halpin, went back towards Rocker, and the kick came into Lockyer, who just held onto it 40 metres from goal, directly in front.
Be an interesting kick. He used to be Collingwood's kick-in specialist before he injured his knee. His kicking around goal since his comeback has not been terribly reliable.
Well, coming into today, he had registered 5 goals, 4 from set shots. He comes in, that is a goal. Collingwood lead by 6 points.
Carlton have conceded 100 points for the 7th week in a row, and Collingwood have the lead again. The 17th week in a row, the Blues have conceded 100 points.
Where does that sit on the list?
It's up with the leading bracket all time. 3rd all time. Sydney once went 25, St Kilda once went 21. It's not a stat that clubs are terribly proud of. Jackson gives to Simpson, who gives in the Gibbs direction. A goal in it in the last 7 minutes. Gibbs to Favola, he almost conjured it. Collingwood with numbers around the ball. Shaw might get a free. He finessed it well. Collingwood's ball.
And we asked about that move earlier, Das, about who you now put on Favola. I think the move's been made where O'Brien has now gone to Favola. We'll just have to see that unfold, or whether it just got mixed up on players.
Collingwood have kicked 5 goals to 3 in this last quarter. Raised their effort and got a result. Russell with O'Brien. Thomas with Houlihan. And Thomas has taken the edge in that taken the honours in that contest. Here's Clark for Collingwood. Thornton appealing for holding the ball. He won't get it. Umpire Avon will step in and bounce.
Well, it was a good decision by the umpire because there was a number of hands on the ball.
Thomas now 6 disposals in this final quarter. Thornton unopposed, knocks it forward. Only as far as Lockyer. Feeds it back to Swan. Kick out wide to Burns. He backtracks, waiting for an option. Davis gets the 1-2, does he? No. Great tackle coming from Simpson, forcing Davis over the line. So a boundary throw in. Brendan Favola, some concerns there. Limping.
Yeah, he is limping, and his new partner is O'Brien. He's gone to him. So the matchup's been made.
Boss trickles towards attacking 50. Good body work by Thomas, getting in there again. And he forces another ball up 60 metres from Collingwood's goal. Magpies by 6 points.
Couldn't be another draw, could it?
We wouldn't do it to, surely. Fraser decisively to Cloak. Cloak from 60 off a step. Drives it goalward. Rocker one out. Rocker. Oh. It bounces. It bounces. It doesn't bounce through. Rocker, does he kick a goal? He does. Collingwood by a couple now. Unbelievable. Anthony Rocker shepherded to let it through. It bounced on its end. Then he was under siege to try and get it through. Bounces straight up. And he kicks it there. Goal to the Magpies.
Well, he almost gets pulled down. And then the second effort misses. Third effort, goal.
So Favola having a break.
Well, that's a big move. He's obviously hurting.
Rocker 3 disposals in this final term. 3 goals. 4 for the match after having none at half-time. Carlton free kick. Just over 5 minutes left. And the Blues are now 2 goals down. Collingwood haven't won 4 consecutive games against Carlton for more than 50 years. They've won the last 3 before today. Heath Shaw holds up the Blues and gives to Burns.
Yeah.
50 metres. Wade holding on too long.
Oh, it's just a basic error because Burns took the mark without any contest and Jared Waite grabbed him.
Well, they were hot on this rule last year. They've certainly toned it down a little bit this year, but that was definitely 50 metres in any year.
Brett Ratton saw the Blues come home hard against St Kilda last week and fall 10 points short. Today, he's watching them succumb under Collingwood's last quarter pressure. Loney's lurking. In fact, it was Clement looking for the hand pass. Burns does it himself. It's not bad. He's done it. And that might be the winner for the Magpies.
Well, here it is again. There's the mark. No contest. And Jarrad Waite just grabs him. And he should know better, basically.
He's just had a great play there, isn't he, Jarrad Waite?
Yeah, well, he must have been gesturing that he thought it might have been touched. Perhaps that's the only reason why you go over and try and grab him and tackle him like that.
That's the only plausible explanation.
56,000 people here, and Jarrad Waite was the only one that thought that, I think.
The gold jackets on. The Magpies might be home. Andy Maher, how's Favola?
No, he's fine, Tim. They looked like he wrenched something in that previous marking contest before he came back on. They looked at the leg, but he looks like he's okay.
Back in the centre, big pack of players, a ball up.
Thanks, guys. Up.
It's been a titanic struggle. 12 lead changes. In fact, 13 lead changes. Finally, the Magpies have the biggest lead of the match. It's 18 points. Well done by Jamison. Off to Murphy. Clever little kick around the body. Didn't quite get to Fisher. And Clement knocks it to his own advantage. Although Fisher did superbly to get back in front and earn the free kick. 27 minutes down in this final term. Brad Fisher from centre wing. Kicks to half forward. Favola and O'Brien. Favola was held. No free kick. Oh, well done by Simpson. Emerges from the pack. Kicks from 50 and kicks behind. Margin 17 points.
It's been 7 goals to 3 in the last quarter. Collingwood, like a good team, collectively rising when it had to. Heath Shaw with the footy. Magpies have tended to win the close ones this year. 4 games decided by under 10 points. They've won 3 of them. Clark takes it wide to Lockyer. And it looks as though they'll prevail here, perhaps by more than 10 points. It stands at 17. Ben Johnson and Collingwood with time now on their side. Clever mark by Jamison.
He's been fantastic today, Tim. It's been a great effort on debut. One-on-one contest. He's won more than his fair share today.
He and Ryan Cook for their respective teams have made auspicious debuts. Blackpool's kick misguided. Lockyer in the way. Collingwood in control. And Burns a big factor in this last term. He does it so often. Tends to be sparingly used through the day these days and then really perform when he has to late. Dale Thomas, as ever, providing moments of inspiration. And Martin Clark, what a strong body the young Irishman has. Heath Shaw, outstanding contributor for Collingwood all season.
Love his leadership capabilities too, Tim. He's just directed, pointed, just showing the way for his side.
So Collingwood playing some keepings off, and Carlton fans won't enjoy it.
Lockyer's got 10 disposals for the quarter as Didac chips to Ben Johnson, who socks down, takes plenty of time, uses every second he can. As he cleverly chips to Swan. The Magpies now trying to maintain possession. Back to Ben Johnson, the umpire having a good think as to whether that was 15 metres or not, eventually blowing his whistle. Clement, what a return from James Clement. 22 disposals for the captain. Dane Swan. And Mick Malthouse will feel contented at least in the fact that the Magpies have been able to achieve this victory this afternoon. Heath Shaw.
Clement is, looks like he's hurt. He's coming from the ground. This wouldn't be very good for Collingwood. He's in a bit of trouble off the ball. In fact, he's sitting on the ground in some trouble.
Oh, no, that's a disaster.
He looks faint.
He actually does. He does.
So was there a knock?
He went down after that kick, Tim. He slumped to his haunches as if he was stretching his groin, and then he tried to get back up, and then just started to get the wobbles up and began to faint. And then as tries as hard as he could to get up, he just couldn't get up. He's going straight off the ground here.
Collingwood keep pressing. Leon Davis Burns and now Swan from a long way for a bit of icing. And Rocker can't quite hang on. Collingwood's lead is 18 points.
Yeah, sorry, Tim. They're taking him off the other side of the ground, as you can see now, just getting him straight off the ground.
Well, let's hope it's just the fact that he's returned after a prolonged spell.
Yep. It could be dehydration.
Scotland gets it from Carazzo. Chips all dangerously inside. It's okay though. Saddington marks. Carazzo back to Saddington. Simpson, well tackled by Davis, going nowhere. Was able to clear the ball back to Blackwell, but the pressure immense. And Davis gets it, kicks it to Rocker, who's all by himself inside attacking 50. And he's happy and content just to go back as James Clement comes from the ground. He seems to be walking okay, which would suggest there isn't a leg problem, Mooney thought. And here it is.
But that's when he goes on his haunches, and then he goes to the ground.
Collingwood have prevailed in a titanic struggle at the MCG to keep their final 4 chances alive. And Anthony Rocker, who's kicked 3 goals in this final quarter, lines up for his 4th and nails it. The Magpies by 24.
They needed you in the last quarter. They were all looking at you. It was tight at 3/4 time. What a way to deliver.
Yeah, it was. Look, I have to thank my midfielders and half forwards there. They just banged the ball in a bit longer. You know, we couldn't penetrate deep inside our forward line for pretty much the whole day into that last quarter. And when we did, we were just, I was either marking it or bringing it to the ground for the small forwards.
You're obviously aware of the fact that you are the talisman of this side. When they are in trouble, they look long for you. To be able to deliver in a big game like that with your final top 4 aspirations on the line, it's a massive performance by you.
You're pumping me up there, mate, but thanks for that. But I come out at 3/4 time and I said, you know, I nearly got to kick 3 goals for us to win this game. So, and Fev was doing it down the other end as well. So it was just good in that sense.
You see guys like Scotty Burns grasp the nettle in the last quarter. They just decide that they're not going to lose the game. He must be a massive inspiration as well.
Yeah, they were awesome, mate. In that middle, in that last quarter, they were fantastic.
Well played, mate. Back to you, lads.
Well, the last quarter needs no pump-up. It speaks for itself. He kicked 4 goals in the last term, and Collingwood won by exactly that margin. They kicked 8-2 to win the game in the last quarter.
Yeah, they did. And we remember just before 3/4 time, we're asking some of these players to stand up. Who was it going to be? Well, Rocker was certainly one of those. Gave him great direction in that last quarter. Thomas also stood up. Lockyer in the last quarter was fantastic, as well as Burns in the middle of the ground. So they had players who did deliver when they needed it most, but they can't afford to just turn it on when they like.
Tremendous improvement by the Blues since Brett Ratton took over. A 10-point loss to St Kilda and a gallant effort today.
Yeah, some really positive things to come out of the game. Michael Jamison's debut was fantastic. Some of the stuff Luke Blackwell did as well was outstanding to watch. Jordan Russell, Mark Murphy. There's a bright future in store for Carlton. Just not Michael Voss in it. That's the only problem for them.
Collingwood are in the 8 by a game and a half with 4 rounds to go. They're still in the fight for the top 4. They have beaten Carlton by 24 points.